Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning, 15 minutes to change our lives. This year is sponsored by Esther Malka in honor of her birthday. And she should have everything she needs and wants in the best way possible and the easiest way possible, and only all the brachas, ad bli day. Like we say, that we have so many brachas that our lips get tired of saying, like, enough of the brachas, not enough. So Mr. Hashem, by her and by all of us. And the ultimate bracha of Mashiach. And Mashiach is through my cinema, so through our Veda, to the times of goals, which is why we're here today. In this sikha that we're going to learn something very interesting. It's a very interesting sikha. Basically, we're going to discuss Yetzias Mitzrayim on a spiritual sense, and part of Yetzias Mitzrayim was the Makkos. So we're going to discuss some of the Makkos from a spiritual standpoint, and it's going to be very interesting. So with that, but that will probably start tomorrow. Today we're just going to preface and bring out a few ideas. Tomorrow, and we're going to start off again with always the essential theme that we've talked about a lot, is that Torah and everything that we read in Torah is not something that happened a long time ago, but it's lessons for life today. Let's begin. Hamim Rabbis Kavar Hudgash. We've already said many times, already stressed. Everything in Torah, but not just the halachas of Torah. Kim Gam Hasipurim, even the stories. Mishamshim Kaira Derech. They're used as a Kaira, a lesson, like a way, like a lesson teaching you how to live life. Torah Torah from the language of lessons. Every time and every place. At Seif Kladosh, the end of all times. This is the eternality of Torah. Torah is eternal in the sense that not just a history book, that Chas V'Shalom people should think that Torah is a history book, but Torah is a book of lessons. Even not just the lessons. You're going to say, yeah, of course, the lessons of halacha. How to get halacha? We say not even the lessons, every part of Torah. Even the stories, they're all a lesson for us in how to live our lives. And in general, in this, even in a situation where you have a story in the Torah that's not really connected to our time period and what we live with, what we deal with, nevertheless, we have to take out a lesson for it for every generation. Meaning, and this is what we're discussing, of course, Yetzias Mitzrayim. Even though we don't have Yetzias Mitzrayim right now, Yetzias Mitzrayim happened 3,000 years ago. The Yidden left Mitzrayim. So what's it going to do with me? So we have to say there's nothing to do with us. We have to learn. It has to be. We have to take out something from it. If this is by every story of the Torah, even more so. Even more so. If this is by any story in Torah, that is a lesson for us. We have to learn. Even the uncomfortable stories, there's something for us to learn. Even more so, Yetzias Mitzrayim is such a big event in the Jewish people. There's for sure lessons for us to learn. We have a mitzvah every day to remember Yetzias Mitzrayim. Meaning not physically leaving, but all it means is spiritually. But in our avodah, in our service between us and Hashem, we have to have Yetzias Mitzrayim b'chol yom every day. As Alter Rebbe explains in Parak Mezayim Tanya, which talks about Yetzias Mitzrayim, that he says b'chol day b'chol yom v'yom, that every single generation, every single day, that he see himself as if he today left Mitzrayim. So let's look at ourselves today living Mitzrayim. We have to understand what that means. It doesn't mean I have to think to myself every day that I'm walking through the Yam Suf. It means every day within ourselves we have to live on Mitzrayim, and that's what we're going to discuss here. So Mikal Shekal Prate Ishtashlos Yetzias Mitzrayim Mitzrayim Megashus, and therefore that every part of Seder Ishtashlos, every part of the whole process of creation, of it's, and not just the creation, but the Seder Shtashos of Yetzias Mitzrayim, the whole descent, the whole process of leaving Mitzrayim by the Jewish people, Begashus, Mahabim, Tziyunei Derech, Leprati Yetzias Mitzrayim Ruchnis. Looking at the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim, how it physically happened, gives us the ability to see how we have to leave our Mitzrayim, our Yetzias Mitzrayim spiritually. Take the physical story of Yetzias Mitzrayim, we learn it out, that physical story with all its details, and we try to apply those same things in our situation spiritually. Now we have, if you ask yourself to do it, maybe it's a little difficult, but we have the Rebbe, and the Rebbe is going to give us all these tools. So we're going to learn that. And ultimately, if we get good enough, we internalize this message, and we work on it, and we do chazar on these things, and we learn them enough times, we start to be able to do it ourselves. And this is the goal. The Rebbe wants us to think the way he thinks. So that's first place. And again, as we've seen many times, and I hope this is going to grain into us, Torah and Lashon Hira, that every book, every part of Torah is there for lessons. That's not just a history book, it's not just something that, or just halacha, but Torah is our blueprint for life, our manual for life. And we've read that already a few times. And the reason why I think the Rebbe keeps on repeating it, and we keep on hearing it, is for us to recognize this, to internalize this. Base. Psichas haparsha hi b'dikui hakesher sheshar b'galus mitzrayim. Haparsha maschil milim v'yirah elav Avram. So in last week's parsha, Moshe basically, Hashem convinces Moshe to go speak to Paro, let the Yidden go in the serve the Eibishter, serve God. And Moshe goes to Paro and he says, hey, the Yidden have to let him go, have to go serve Hashem in the field, all these things. And Paro's like, no, I don't know what you guys are thinking about. You be quiet, and you guys get back to work. Don't you get back to work? He makes it worse for them, make them work even harder. So Moshe comes and complains in last week's parsha. He says, hey, why are you doing all these problems? Why are you causing all this difficulty? I come to say the Jewish people are making it worse. I'm here making it worse. So what's going on here? And he's not happy with Hashem. So that's the end of last week's parsha. In the beginning of this week's parsha, we start to answer it. Hashem answers it. And Hashem says to Moshe, I showed myself to Avram. And he said, I showed him Avram, Yaakov, and they didn't complain to me. They didn't ask any question what I'm doing. Like, what are you coming complaining? They didn't have any complaints, and I didn't do everything. For them, they had plenty of reasons to question. When I had Avram send him to do a bris, to sacrifice his son Yitzchak, he didn't ask any questions. Hashem's saying, what are you talking? Why are you complaining? That's what pashtus. That's the pshat. That's a simple interpretation, simple meaning. But now we're going to explain it in a deeper way. Let's see. This is the answer that Moshe Hashem's giving to Moshe Rabbeinu. Asher lost on these questions. In the end of last week's parasha, why are you making it bad for the Jewish people? You didn't save your Yidden. They're crying out to you. They need help. Go help them. Go save them. Hashem, what are you doing? So Moshe is complaining. The galus is so severe for them. And the darkness is so covered over, doubled and redoubled of darkness. And even in the mind of Moshe Rabbeinu, who is Moshe Rabbeinu? He's Tachlis HaChachma, Kedusha. Moshe was the highest level of intellect, of holiness. So Moshe understood things to the best of any human mortal mind's ability, probably ever. And even Moshe, he starts complaining to God. Moshe wasn't able to grasp what's going on over here. Moshe is saying, what's going on over here? I don't understand what's going on. Who is Shayel? And he's asking, and he's complaining, he's asking for Hashem. Meaning Moshe is like, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to understand this. Seemingly, this shouldn't be happening. Moshe understands God, like we said in the beginning, that we should learn every sikha and we'll learn it enough to start to see the way the Rebbe sees things. So if anyone saw the way Hashem sees it, it was Moshe Rabbeinu. And even Moshe Rabbeinu that saw things the way Hashem saw things in general, in this case, he wasn't able to see it. Even though that afterwards Moshe comes and repeats to the Jewish people what Hashem says, Therefore, say to the Jewish people, Ani Avaya Am Hashem. I'm going to take you out of the servitude and the bondage of Mitzrayim. And there's full language in this parsha of redemption. But Moshe does repeat good words to the Jewish people afterwards. But nevertheless, they were in such a bad state they couldn't hear him. Meaning they physically heard, but they couldn't believe it. It's like a person, is a slave and they're suffering, and someone says, in 2 months you're free, you're going out of here. And it's like, what are you talking about? I have a life sentence over here. I'm not going out anywhere. It's not shaykh. And this is what he's saying. And sometimes in our life we look at life and we say it's not shaykh, like we're suffering, it's not going well, and we don't think there's anything that's gonna and someone says to you, it can be so much better. I'm telling you, it can be so much better, and very soon it'll be much better. You can't even listen to it. It's like I'm in so much pain, or it's so hard, and I don't see it this way. Even the revelation of Hashem's name, the high level of Hashem's name. To Moshe, like it says, Hashem says to Moshe, tell Jewish people that I am Avaya. Avaya is a high level. Even though Hashem said, reveal my name of Havayim, which is a high level Hashem. That Hashem is past, present, and future, a level of godliness way above nature and time. Even though Hashem revealed that to the Jewish people, and Moshe told them this, it was such a bad state they couldn't even hear. Even that they couldn't hear. It's not the issue of the shliach. It wasn't that Moshe did something wrong. What does it have Moshe Beinu? That Moshe is that Hashem's Shechina is talking through Moshe. When Moshe was giving over the message, it was exactly as God is giving it over. So we can't say the reason why he couldn't hear it was because Moshe is bad. He didn't repeat it well. He didn't say it nicely. It didn't make sense. But if God would have said to them, it would have been good. Moshe was God in a physical body. And so therefore they heard it from God himself. And they still couldn't hear it. That's such a bad situation. That's the situation, how bad it was. So you do I have the Bein Moshe Bein Levein Shanavim. To prove this point, we're gonna stress that even more. What's the difference between Moshe Bein and the rest of the Nevi'im? Ka Nevi'im Hayu Zekukim Hispashtus Gashmius B'Shas and Nevuah. The regular Navi, the rest of the Nevi'im, they had to remove themselves from the physicality in order to have the Nevuah. They wouldn't be in a natural state like Moshe was. Mishum Sheguf from Gash Eloi Haya Kli Lekap. Their physical body wasn't a Kli. Physical body wasn't a Kli for this revelation of godliness. So even in the nevuah that they had not just the preparation for the nevuah that they had to get rid of the gashmius, unlike Moshe, but even when the actual nevuah themselves, what they got, what does it say? Ne'emar shehisnavu b'ka b'chinas dumuzalai. B'ka is like this. It means it wasn't the thing itself. They didn't have the nevuah of godliness itself, but it was like a mashal. The nevuah was like a mashal versus Moshe. Nevuah was a nimshal, was the thing itself. Moshe was getting taught it straight, but they were being taught it as in like a mashal. Their bodies weren't able to handle it properly, and even what they did get wasn't even the real thing. Moshe was himself, nothing changed with him. Even from nevuah, the nevuah was not just Moshe Rabbeinu needed to remove himself from his body in any way, but even the nevuah that he got was the real thing. The level of zeh, not b'kei like this, but it was this thing. He saw it. Mishum shegufay gashmi hayatziner b'kli lavaz dvar Hashem k'moshehu, because he was able to receive the gashes as it is. The Moshe on a way high level, and he was able to give it over. So when he gave it to the Jewish people, what Hashem was saying, that we're good and we're going to be freed, there was such goals they couldn't hear it. They couldn't receive it. And even though Hashem told them the high level of Hashem, miracles are happening, we're going to have miracles. It was so hard for them. Last little paragraph. Hayakan Zikara and Zchus Avos. Not just that, he had remembrance of the forefathers. That they brought down Vaera Avos, and I showed myself to your forefathers. Shebekeiche lahavis l'siu milamayla. Kifisha anu mitzim b'mishnah, like we find in the Mishnah that help him above. Shahaya nahug lema beis hamikdash im shachar in beis hamikdash. In the morning they would say Heir pnei mizrach ad shebechevron, that it shined like the sun rose until Chevron. Why are they saying Chevron? V'zos kedei lahazkiz chushnei Yishane Chevron, the old Chevron, meaning what Chevron represented. The shame to add in the help of Karbanos in general, and the Talmud of Frat, because Chevron is where the forefathers are. So even the Beis Hamikdash, they used this help. But the Yidden, what we're saying is the Yidden were in such a bad situation, and it was very difficult for them, and they couldn't even hear. When they're getting told they're being freed, you have to be freed, you're getting out of this. But they were so stuck. And I think it's a good lesson for all of us. Even when we think we're so stuck, and what's going to be, and how is it going to work, and it doesn't make any sense, and we've been slaves for 200 years, and just it's torture. When someone comes and tells us there's an opportunity to come out, someone that's your friend, someone that cares, I know, just some random person, someone that really cares. Let's listen to it. Let's not be too stuck. And how we're going to discuss tomorrow in the next few days, how they got out of Mitzrayim was with Makis. So what do these Makis mean spiritually within us? And how do we apply these Makis for ourselves? To be continued tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.